Welcome, viewers, to the Now Show, the show for overcomers and winners, where we take you on the journey to wholeness. Today's episode, we're going to be discussing the silent struggles of the young adult. And joining me to discuss this today is my guest. He's an expert on the young people's affairs. Mr. Demola Ogolade. Thank you, Demola, for joining me on the Now Show. Wow. I see your passion for the very young people. You are young as well.
Obviously.
That's why the fact that these are struggles that you have been through, and you know that these are things that are common to the young. Exactly. And I said, you know what? Let's sit at the table and talk about it. So thank you for doing this with us.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Okay, so the young people.
All right. Once more, thank you for allowing me to come to this show and talk about some of the things that we, or let me say personally, have been through. I'm over 30, and for over 20 years, I battled through a lot of things, and there were silent struggles that I couldn't share with people. Respect to my father and my mother. Well, they trained me well.
Can I ask you a question before you go any further?
Okay.
Why can't you share? Why do the young people find it difficult to share? Before we even go into the struggles. Why?
Well, I'll say the listening here. I grew up in a mission house.
Okay.
My father is a pastor.
Okay.
My father is very busy. You know, with the ministry work.
Okay. So availability
is there, is not there.
Okay.
Sometimes you just wish. Then there's something very profound that sometimes we don't want to share our mistakes with our immediate, let me use the word, family. Maybe to just cover it up, or in order not to feel so bad about them.
Okay.
In case there is a rebuke.
Okay.
So these are the reasons why.
So you'd rather be rebuked by somebody outside
and so many times you don't find somebody to share those things with. So while growing up, one of the things that I struggled with is the issue of low self-esteem. The thing almost killed me. This is
when you say low self-esteem, you were not sure of yourself, or you just didn't have confidence in yourself, or what?
I didn't even know who I was.
You didn't know who you were.
Yeah. So the other people's opinion becomes my reality. So they tell me this is
Come
who
again
you are.
on that.
I said other people's opinion will become my reality.
Become your reality.
Yeah.
Wow.
So whatever they say, I just like if they tell me maybe you have a big head, I just accept that, oh, truly they say I have a big head. You understand? So I battled it for a long time because I had no identity of my own.
You had no identity.
Yes, and I had nobody to help me discover those identities. So it was an issue of self-worth. I never knew who I wanted to become, who I was at the point I was given birth to, a lot of things. But it boils down to where you were being born into.
So your background matters.
It matters a lot. It matters a lot. Who are the people speaking to you? What are the things you feed on regularly?
Are the people speaking to you?
What are the things you feed on regularly? So these were I was practically indoor.
Okay.
Maybe after school was practically indoor, not allowed to have
mingle with people,
expressions and all. So naturally, my thoughts is inside of me, grows inside of me. Sometimes dies inside of me.
Wow.
But my parents were not very harsh on us.
Okay.
But the natural fear was just there to express how we feel, to express how we want things to be done.
Okay.
You understand? So these were the struggles I battled for a long time. And the thing can metamorphose into you being humble. But it's not the same.
Okay.
You might see some people, they appear humble. They are not humble.
Okay.
Their self-worth has been battered.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Wow.
It has been battered that naturally they just keep quiet.
So the fact that they're quiet does not mean that they're really quiet.
It doesn't mean.
It just means that they've been through something.
Yes.
Or many things.
Yes. So they don't even know what to express.
Okay.
So it affects societal expression. It affects confidence. It can even affect academic pursuit sometimes because you might not be able to actually relate with your peers the way you're supposed to. So many things comes with those struggles that you might not even be able to come out of it if you don't find help at the point of time.
How do you identify help?
Well, it took me a long time. One of the things I knew I was going to become a public figure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's from somebody with low self-esteem. Come on, come off it.
I knew I was going to become, but how? I don't know.
Okay.
So one day I stumbled on Fela Dutoye's message.
Okay.
And I must say that man actually helped people he had never met.
Okay.
Although I've met him, but some people he had never met. I remember he mentioned something in one of the messages I listened to. He said, for you have, it's a scripture.
Yes.
He said, for you have this treasure in your earthen vessel.
Okay.
Let me pick that line. You know, when he mentioned that, I think it's in 1 Corinthians or something. When he mentioned that line in one of his messages, I'm like, this treasure, maybe public speaking, this public thing I want to, this achievement I want to, I have those treasure
in you,
inside of me, my earthen vessel. So how do I do it? So I started forcing myself to, appear in places that I will have the opportunity to mingle with people of like mind. So if you ask my wife, for instance, that where will you likely find me? Party, or you don't have to say how, within training, seminars, because that was where I went to build up direction. Yeah, I went to build up my confidence level. So I started talking to people that reassure me.
Okay.
Even things that I never knew I might, there are some things I'm seeing in my life right now that they were just proclamations from people who just feel that you are going, some words, you are going places, some positive confessions, some positive affirmations. I started working on myself gradually. Then I started reading books.
So it's important that you have a young person around you to always say positive things to them.
Yes.
That builds their confidence.
It builds their confidence.
That makes them know who they are.
Exactly.
Gives them identity.
Yes.
From what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
So it can come, sometimes you don't know who you really have. And people cannot give you the identity of, they can't give you what you are not. But from the...
Neither can you give what you don't have.
Yes. From the positive affirmation, you begin to see what truly you are. You begin to see through the lens of what people say, positive words. So also people that they declare negative things into their life, they begin to see all those things as well. So when I started working around this kind of people, I realized that I am not who I thought I was. So I started making conscious effort. For instance, there was a time, I think almost 10 years ago now, close to 10 years ago, I was already getting uncomfortable with getting inside by 6 p.m.
Okay.
So I went to the market one day. I just saw television crew members from NTA. And they just called me. It was World Food Day. They just called me in the market. Can you speak to us on what you feel about the World Food Day? I said, why not? So they granted that interview. I had that interview with them for like 5 minutes. After, they said I should translate into Yoruba. So I did the same thing and I rushed home. They told me they were going to show me network service, 9 p.m. And they were going to show me later that night. I rushed home, with pride.
Looking forward to it.
And when I told I was living with my uncle at that time, I told my uncle that, sir, tune to NTA. It tuned to NTA. And he said, wow.
Lo and behold.
This is you. I said, yeah. So I got the liberty to start extending my coming home.
Okay.
So anytime he asks me, are you coming home early? I said, no, I might have an interview. I started having that consciousness in me that, okay, this is the path that I should walk in. And it begins to build up my confidence gradually.
Then other struggles that the young people have, we've spoken about self-confidence.
Yeah.
We did say that there are silent struggles, so many more struggles.
Yeah.
Because I know things like peer pressure.
Obviously.
You've spoken about exam pressure.
Yeah.
So
another struggle that I want to also mention is the young people when they are outside the roof of their parents. I mean, let me use the word control of their parents. They tend to express another level of freedom. I remember, I hope my mom is not watching this anyway, because what I'm about to say, I'm sure she has never heard it before.
Wow.
I remember when I was in part 1 in school, I was just excited in one day
to be away from home.
Yeah,
and
the
have your freedom.
The excitement.
Yes.
I was changing clothes 3 times in a day. Just to impress girls and all of these things.
Wow.
So one day I met a lady.
Mr. Macho.
I met a lady.
Yes.
I'd met her in school.
Okay.
So fortunately for me, she was actually living around my street.
Okay.
Because I was not living in the hostel.
Okay.
So she was going home, and I'm like, wow, I met you in school earlier.
Okay.
She said, yeah, I live around here. And I followed her, at her consent anyway.
Okay.
I followed her. She showed me her house, and I said, one of these days, I will pay a visit. And not long after, I think 2 weeks after, she called me that it was a distress call. That please, I used to bear Demi then.
Okay.
From the word Demola.
Okay.
Demi. They said, Demi, please, I need drugs, please. I'm dying. I said, dying? Oh, I'll be right there. So I went to the pharmacy, bought drugs. If I even bought Milo, I bought milk.
Okay.
Just to
How
show.
caring? No.
I don't have a choice. So I took it there. And
can you imagine? I can imagine giving my son that's what we're using his allowance for.
Imagine me. I didn't even have that thing at home.
Wow.
I had to buy for a lady. I got to the house and I knocked the door. They told me to come in, only to realize they were they.
Okay.
So there were 3 ladies.
Okay.
Naked.
What?
Yes. It was I was confused. That I initially said, oh, sorry, wrong room. They said no. They threatened me with knives and all. And
you're joking.
There were 3. They had their way, but I landed in the hospital.
Oh my word. Are you telling me that 3 women?
Yes. I don't have those pictures anymore in my head.
Wow.
Because I landed in the hospital and I had to, people that knew me, I couldn't even open up. I had to tell them it's malaria. I was there for 3 days and they had to treat me and all. But the truth is that sometimes, people talk about rape as feminine affair.
Feminine thing.
Now, men or boys do face some of these things. And it's not a popular opinion. So many people might not actually believe what they're saying.
I actually heard that thing where it said that a lot of boys actually introduced into sex by much older women.
Obviously. They entice them with money. They entice them with a lot of gifts. And if the boy is not well brought up and is material conscious, iPhone 12 can solve a whole lot of things.
iPhone 12.
Obviously, a good money can do a whole lot and make them change their orientation.
Wow.
So a lot of things happen outside there that parents need to ask questions sometimes when they begin to see some things.
That's another struggle.
Yes. And there is something about lies and fake living. You will keep having something to back it up. Yeah, that will always be, if somebody confronts me, where did you get this? I know you are not working. Well, your parent didn't buy this for you. You will always have something, a prepared answer.
A prepared speech.
To back it up. So these are some of the things that I've personally faced, and I believe that the younger people are still facing it today, especially in the tertiary school.
Wow.
Yeah, in universities. They face these things because they want to belong. Naturally, they want to feel among. These things lead them into a whole lot of maybe cultism, smoking, and a whole lot of things. A whole lot. A whole lot. So if we're talking about silent struggles, they're actually silent.
Because I actually shudder thinking a child from a home where they don't drink, they don't smoke, none of the parents, all of a sudden gets to school and you hear about is drinking heavily, is smoking heavily, is moving with. What happens to that kind of child?
Let me say this. This is a real show.
Yes.
And I will be, there are some people who might be watching this and be like, wow, so this actually happened? All right. When I moved from my parents' house to my uncle's house,
yes,
I told my parents were pastors.
Yes.
So naturally, I'm compliant. So I moved to my uncle's house with the same level of compliance.
Okay.
So, my uncle is a free Christian, he's a Catholic.
Okay.
Respect to my uncle, very wonderful man.
Yes.
But my uncle, is a prince. He entertained a lot of visitors on a daily basis.
Okay.
Different level of visitors. So we always have drinks like Gouda, Guinness at home. So every night, I hope my uncle is not watching again.
There are many people that you are hoping they're not watching. Let them not. The struggles well. The struggles are real.
Yes. Anytime I'm going to my room, the fridge where we store visitors' drink, apart from the one in the kitchen, is just beside my room.
Wow.
So anytime I'm going to my room after 10, we end every discussion 10.
Okay.
That's after network news.
Yes.
So whenever I'm going to my room, I just open the fridge quietly, take one bottle.
So there's access.
There's access
to that.
But you know what? My uncle never believed.
Wow.
So there was one day my uncle noticed, this thing is draining. I said a lot of visitors came when you were not at home. So we entertained them. I was taking those things every day. A bottle of Guinness. Every day. I'm telling you, every day. Early in the morning when I wake up, I'll go and return the empty bottle.
Wow.
I will also be the one to go and inform my uncle that we are running out of stock.
You are running low on stock so that you will have.
I will also be the one to go and buy.
Wow.
When I now got to school, it was now a level for me to express.
The environment really also matters.
Yes.
Because if a child is in an environment where they have access to these things, then there's a likelihood that they're going to.
And the parents might not even know.
Yes.
And they will be doing. See, there is nothing you start. There's nothing anybody starts suddenly.
There's nothing.
It doesn't just come.
Start suddenly.
Okay, for instance, can somebody just start stealing 10 million naira in a day? You will have been stealing.
You will have been doing it gradually.
100 naira.
Okay.
1,000.
Okay, so
10,000. It is a build-up. So most of the time, it's a build-up when they now have the freedom. So when I got the freedom, I'm like, oh, now nobody can even.
So these are things that they have the tendency to do in the first place.
Obviously.
So when the freedom now comes, is now freedom to express
on a larger scale. Expansion.
Wow, expansion.
Wow. So these are the things that are naturally some parents do not even have an idea because young people, smart young people, let me use that word. Smart young people, we are very smart. We have a whole lot of things. There was a day my uncle entertained a visitor with a red wine, and he told me to bring my cup. I said, no. And I never knew I was thinking something much more harder than red wine. I said, I don't drink.
For uncle, and meanwhile.
You get what I'm saying? So these are the things. These are the things. But
how do you get out of the struggles?
Well,
how do you deal with the struggles as a young adult?
Apart from me realizing who I need to be and who I was, there is a level of thank God for God. You get when you begin to understand. If you know what you will become in the future, you will actually run away from some things in the present.
Okay, so it's important that a young person knows that there's a destination.
Yes.
I'm on a journey.
Yes.
This life is a journey.
Yes.
So whatever I do along this journey,
it's a progression.
It's a progression. and it has an effect on where I'm going, my destination.
It will feature in that destination, in that future.
Your future.
Yeah,
I like that. It will feature in your future.
Okay, let me make it bolder. Let me make it broader. This was what guided me. I said, a future. No, the common word is you cannot feature in a future you have not pictured. Now, my own version.
You cannot feature in a future that you have not pictured.
Now, my own version that now helped me is that a future that is not structured according to the scripture. We suffer fracture. Yes.
Wow.
So what helped me was I began to see.
What about a young adult who does not know the scripture?
Yeah.
Who is not, scripture is because of your background,
maybe.
Background and things like that. There are other people out there, their parents are not, they're not Christians or something. So what is the future?
Association.
Okay, association.
People, we believe that the 5 closest people to you, you tend to be maybe replica of one of them.
Okay.
Because whoever has your art time or hair time will definitely control a part of your life.
Okay.
So your association, people you mingle with, people you chat with, you understand, begin to filter those things. So if you want to actually help yourself, you need to begin to sieve what comes into your heart.
See what comes into your heart.
Every time.
Wow.
You begin to see in fact, you need to even see what your eye sees.
I'm hearing you talk and I'm thinking, why is he talking as if I didn't go through that stage into adulthood and become who I am now? And I'm thinking, wow, okay.
You tend to have
so
friends.
Everything is being deliberate and intentional.
Obviously. And the truth is that you will always have a pointer.
Okay.
When you're going, you will always have you can't have 5 friends that are terribly bad. You will always have somebody that is conscious, maybe is a long time. When I was getting myself deep into all of these things, my background kept ringing in my head that, come on, you are when we are going to school, your parents will say, remember the child of who you are. Very powerful word. Very powerful word. Those things will begin to play in my memory. That remember.
The child of who you are.
At some point, the thing just stopped playing. And the thing came physically to confront me. Wow. You are not this. And you need to just retrace your steps. And that was what I did. And thank God. God helped me. God helped me. And He's still helping me to overcome some of the traces of these things. Yeah.
Wow. Just listening to you, I have a lot of empathy for the young people now, because the struggles seem to be so much more than the things that we faced growing up.
Obviously.
Especially now that there's access to social media, so there's a lot of influence coming from there. There's so many things, so even outside of your environment, even external factors actually, contribute to some of the pressures.
More.
Yeah,
they
some
contribute
of the
more.
silent struggles that young people go through.
Exactly.
Wow. Anyway, you've said that there's an answer. Or there are answers.
There's always an answer.
There's always an answer to every problem.
Yes.
To every struggle, there is an answer.
Obviously.
Which is why we're doing a show like this, where they can listen to you. You've been through it, and you consciously. So, like you said, it's being deliberate and intentional about the destination and making sure that you overcome the struggles and get to live the life that God has designed for you to live. Wow. Awesome. Thank you so much, Demola, for doing this with us.
I appreciate it.
It's important that we reach out to everybody. So that's why we always have a segment of the Now Show, which we do for the young people, so that they know that they are also on our thoughts and in their minds, and their destination is very important for us. There's something we do on the Now Show, which we call the final word, which is that thing that you want to leave your viewers with, your audience, the people that you've spoken to, the young people. Even if it's a one-liner, something that they're going to remember this conversation by.
Okay, it might not be a one line anyway.
Your final one. Your final one.
But one thing I would say is that the social media is remolding sane minds, sane people, remolding them to being an insane people. The young people listening to me right now, please filter what you consume on the social media. It is not all news that are actually good for you. Some are detrimental to your mental health naturally. So please watch out for some of the things you daily feed your mind with on the social media.
You've heard it all. What you feed your mind is very important. Wow. Well, until we come your way again on the Now Show, your regular host, Abosede Ozaosho, signing off. My guest today, Demola Okolade. Thank you for coming on the Now Show.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.